the one of the basic service of the Delta system is the same one. It's the digital map, but instead of the cafes, you see the enemy positions.
Like stylish marks, like 5 out of 5, technological 5 out of 5. Yeah, come on, guys. That's us.
I almost said World War III.
World War III.
It's like, look,
it could be a promo. World War III tested. The technological advancement will be very useful for those who aid Ukraine in the future wars.
While you're hearing probably the sound of an air alarm in the city of Kyiv right now, this is the most possibly horrifying and also romantic way to start this typical episode of our show. And today, you know what? Me and Mark, we're not alone in the studio. For the first time in a long time now, we have a very interesting guest. And you know, guys, how we are usually talking, you know, politics. The last couple of months, me and Mark, we were losing our minds over the election. You know what? Everybody was losing their minds, obviously. And we've been talking about politics, about Trump, about, you know, all sorts of crazy people, Elon Musk. You know what? Time is up. You know, now when the dust is settling, we have decided to tell you something, you know, I would say it covers both interests. It starts with, you know, presenting you with the Ukrainian success story, which we all enjoy. But also, you know, for you military geeks out there, this will be one of the more topical conversations where you actually get to have a little tiny glimpse into Ukrainian modern warfare, if you will. So today we have in our beautiful studio, Lieutenant Colonel, Deputy Chief of the Center of Innovation and Defense Technology Development, IT Architect of the Combat System Delta, which we're going to be talking about today, and Forbes 30 Under 30, Artem Martynenko. Artem, hello.
Hello.
Extremely nice to have you here.
As I have already spoiled it in our introduction, we're going to be talking about something that is very fancy. I mean, the name sounds, I mean, come on, Delta. It sounds like, I don't know, Delta Force. What's the, you know, comic book store? I don't know. It sounds really cool. And if you type in, because I actually did that, sometimes if you type in like deltamail.gov, I think you get this like super secret CIA interface where you have to put in your login and your password. I mean, obviously, I don't have that because I'm not a member of the military. But this seems like something, you know, out of the comic book stories about super spies and superheroes and Space Force. So could you be so kind as to tell us what is Delta?
Yep. But I will start from the small spoiler. Why you seen this banner with all of this fancy stuff with the alerts that preventing to type in the password and something else. So it's because our system passed the compliance according to the US standard NIST 853, and this year was the year when we prepared and passed this compliance, and that's why it's very US styled for the end user. Maybe it will be better to start from the scratch. Delta is the tool for the situation awareness. And what is the situation awareness? Situation awareness, it's when you understand in yourself, when you understand in the enemy, and when you understand the environment where you are. It's the baseline and the backbone for the decision making for each commander and each one on the battlefield. So how the idea of the Delta was started, it was after the first wave of the Russian invasion into Ukraine. So in 2014, the group of the volunteers started to help the armed forces of Ukraine, and the first thing that they seen that we don't have enough sensors to support our armed forces. They said, okay, we understood that our army is blind. So the first thing that they started to do is to using the commercial UAVs to support maneuver groups on the front line. The second project of this volunteer group was to use not the commercial drones, but the CCTV cameras, because in the 2015, especially in the area of the Donbass airport, Russians started to use the electronic warfare systems, and the commercial drone wasn't ready for this type of the Russian assets. they become ineffective. But the people from the media who used to use these CCTV cameras for their day-to-day job, they proposed this solution, and it was the second one project. And it was like only the start of this activity, but what they seen that once we started to enrich our environment with a lot of the sensors, we need a tool to gather the information from this sensor and to manage this information, disseminate it to the end users, manage the rules, manage the access, and so on and so on. And it was the starting point for the Delta system. Now it's the big ecosystem of the products where we have the digital map with all of the information that could be gathered from the different services that already integrated into our system. It's the platform for the streaming from the UAVs. It's the tool for the synchronizing all of these UAV assets and planning their activities and much more. To be honest, the easiest way to visualize one of the basic models of the system is just to open a Google Maps. And what's your basic activity when you're trying to get somewhere? You open the Google Maps, for example, or any other map application, and working with the information, the restaurants around you, the markets, and so on and so on. So the one of the basic service of the Delta system is the same one. It's the digital map, but instead of the cafes, you see the enemy positions. So it's just the basic example how you can imagine what it is.
I'm sorry, my mind goes immediately to making a joke how you can rate any military position with like 5 stars or 3 stars, like a very shitty service. Wouldn't recommend going there, or like actually 5 stars, really good.
Yeah, but a little bit of rats in the kitchen.
Yeah, a little bit of rats in the kitchen, yeah. So the thing is, this seems like something that is already implemented. I mean, it makes sense that something like this is probably used by militaries worldwide. But I guess for Ukraine, this experience is relatively new, given the fact that it, got its, proper true breath after the full-scale invasion. So I almost said World War III. It's like, look,
it could be a promo. World War III tested.
Yes. So basically, how did it change the way that the Ukrainian military operates, and how did it make it closer to, our more, progressive partners abroad? Like, is it similar to something what they use? Did it bring the Ukrainian military to the, the all saint holy NATO standards, if you will?
I already started from the history of our team. And the next stage of this history was that once the team understood that we need to build the system to gather all the information, the second thought was, okay, we're not the first one who should solve this issue. Let's talk to partners. And in the same time, we met representatives of the NATO C4 Trust Fund. And under this C4 Trust Fund, they had a project that called NATO Ukraine Knowledge Sharing Project. And the main idea was to share with Ukrainians the standards for the interoperability. And these standards could be split in 2 parts. First part is the technical standards, how the information systems and weapons should be implemented and work together. To achieve interoperability between different nations and the assets that they're using. And the second part is the procedural standards. It's not only about which tool you're using, it's also about how you're using these tools. It's like our long way to the NATO standards. For our team, we started to work with the technological standards. And from the scratch, Delta developed with the usage of the NATO standards. It was one of our main objective and one of our main principles in the development, that we shouldn't reinvent the bicycle. So a lot of the partner nations already passed this way, we should use this experience provided by the NATO standards and try to adopt it to the Ukrainian realities. The second one principle was it's to also use the progressive industrial standards. That's why a lot of our partners said that Delta is the very technological, because we started not the 20 years ago. We started just in the 2016, and it's provide us the ability to use the latest technological solutions to build the system itself. And if we are talking how to make it working, our partners always say that there are three main components: people, processes, and technologies. So Delta is the technology, and the other two parts, it's people who should be trained to work with these tools according to the processes that should be implemented in the armed forces. And it's one of the most complicated reforms that happening, to be honest, in Ukraine, because this next wave of the Russian invasion, the full-scale Russian invasion, pushed us to change a lot of the processes and procedures to be effective. Because that's what about these changes in the procedures.
So, does every, I don't know, NATO army have something like this, some software like this? And if yes, if no, how does this Delta stands out? Do we have some technological advancement which, I don't know, maybe Americans don't have? Maybe some features which are very narrowly specific for our battlefield, and maybe which will be specific for the battlefield in the future for other countries, but we are pioneers in that, for instance?
To be honest, both of that. So for the NATO countries, there are commercial solutions. Not all of our partners choose the same way that we choose. So most of them prefer to buy the already existing solution existing on the market rather than develop by themselves. We, as the Ukrainian militaries, choose our own way and started to build our own system from the scratch, but based on the NATO standards. So that's why we have a little bit different situation. But yeah, our partners have similar solutions that should solve the similar issues. Talking about our current experience, for sure, unfortunately, we have this unique experience that don't have any other country in the world, because we are the only one who using such a tools in the conflict of the such scale. So that's why we are in a position where when we're trying to do both things simultaneously, we're trying to cover our technical depth for the last 30 years that we hadn't any tools before the 2015, 2016, before we started our own development, and simultaneously trying to solve the issues that we're facing with on the battlefield now. Because to be honest, no one from our partners don't have situation when they have thousands of drones on the battlefield, and it's a lot of the issues when we're trying to adopt even already existing standards or inventing our new standards to achieve the interoperability to make these tools effective.
So I mean like modern battlefield, like we have I don't know how long is the line, thousands of kilometers of battlefields, and we have like thousands and thousands of drones. This has never happened before. Are NATO partners ready for such amount of data, such amount of videos streaming simultaneously?
The sources of that information, as you said, thousands and thousands of drones, all sorts of military, commercial, all that.
Yeah, I don't think Americans are ready for the battlefield where they have to use several different drones, just commercial drones or something like that, which they probably eventually will have to, right? We don't know that. And how do you think this makes you stand out?
So what we've seen from our communication with the partners, a lot of the experience that we unfortunately have here in Ukraine, it's the like some lessons that they trying to learn, and they build in concepts where they have strategic goals to have such tools and to deal with the such problems that we have. So the experience that the Ukrainians currently have, it's the one of the elements of the future strategies of the other partners, because it's unique experience. For example,
we have the solutions already.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of the NATO nations now talking about that. Okay, we want to use cloud computing. Okay, we want to use artificial intelligence on the battlefield. It's the stuff that we already did. So we already using the cloud computing. We already have solutions with the AI to achieve some advantages on the battlefield. So it's unique experience. And it's also one of the activities that our center have. So we participate in some conferences, NATO exercises, where we're trying to share this experience with our partners.
What about Russia? Do they have something like that, and do they use it?
I'm not sure that they have the system of the such level as a Delta on the highest level, where they gather all the information, because they follow another paradigm of the deployment of such systems, where they try to deploy the separate service for the dedicated unit, and it's very expensive. And to be honest, from our experience, it's not working, especially in such scale. But what we already seen, they trying to build their own solutions now. They already seen the effectiveness of the other solutions made by the Ukrainians, like the Krapiva system and so on and so on. And we already seen that they trying to copy this solution or build something on top of the open source solutions that already exist, to have the same tools for their soldiers.
Can you dive us a little bit into the some more detailed use case? Like imagine you're the main user. Who's going to be that? The commander, the brigade commander, or battalion commander, or maybe highest general? What does he see? How does he operate with it? What's the exact use of it?
We're trying to build Delta as the ecosystem, because we have this complex battlefield environment where everyone in the unit have a different role, but should be in the same context. So the guy from the reconnaissance should be in the same context with the guys from the fire cell, with the artillery crew, with the UAV crew. And they have different interfaces, but they should exchange the same information to execute their task. So if we are talking about some basic example, we have the headquarters of the battalion, for example. We have current situation about the enemy and understanding the possible position of the enemy troops. We want to plan the reconnaissance mission. For the planning of the reconnaissance mission, we have another tool where the officer responsible for the planning have the synchronization metrics, where they planning their assets. Just imagine the calendar, or, for example, Excel spreadsheet, where you have rows as the assets and columns as time frames when you will execute the particular mission. It's the workplace for the officer who is responsible for the planning of the missions. We have the UAV crew responsible for the execution of this mission, and based on the task planned by the officer, they start in the stream where they provide the current picture, what's really going on this possible position of the enemy. If the enemy is still there, the UAV operator can immediately share this information through the map and send it to the fire cell, for planning the mission for destruction. It could be happen in dynamic. It could be planned mission. It depends on the level of the usage and so on. But it's one of the basic example when we have the same context for the different roles who need to execute different tasks, but to achieve the same goal.
Okay, wow, that sounds amazing, actually.
Sounds amazing, actually. Well, it is. Come on.
It is. No. I'm excited. Honestly, I'm just because I'm not a military man, and for me that's kind of hard to process the significance and how do you operate without that, right? Because it sounds like obvious for us right now. Yeah, like you sent the locations, they put it in the spreadsheet, etc. But like most of the countries maybe don't have it right now and didn't use it even like 10 years ago.
Network-centric warfare, this doctrine has existed in the United States since like 1990s, but the point is they haven't fought a proper war since I don't know when. We don't count the stuff that they did. Like, it's not fighting a nuclear country the size of, two of your countries.
Yeah. With tens of thousands of shells firing
a minute,
into you.
yes.
Yeah.
So the question I'm most interested in is that, well, first of all, obviously you yourself are a part of the military, and obviously your unit and everything else is also, which means this is not some, a lot of people abroad like to, belittle Ukrainian achievements and be like, oh, this is just, they're learning, they're trying. Obviously you have implemented the system on a certain level in the military. And two questions I would like to have is, to an extent that you can tell us, how widely used the system is now, and its versatility. Like, obviously we're talking about UAVs here mostly because UAVs are the backbone, like, I'm not going to say backbone because it's wrong, but like a very significant part of the Ukrainian military. But I would assume this system can work within different branches of the military, right? So to which extent is it implemented and how versatile is it?
To be honest, not enough, because it's as I mentioned, it's not only about the technology, it's also about the processes and about trained people. And it's the one of the complexities that we have. So we need to train people also to work with system according to these processes. And in some units who are more mature, as we can say, a lot of these units, they are famous enough. They have enough effective processes, and they are like top users of the system. But not all of the units in the Ukrainian armed forces on the same level, and it's our future and our point of focus to bring these processes and trained people there. So if we are talking about some numbers, for example, I cannot pronounce the numbers of the users that we have now, but from the start of the full-scale Russian invasion, if we are talking about the products that we build. So we started only from the single application with the map. Now we already have 7 different products and planning more because we see the other parts of the battlefield processes that not covered by the digital process, and we can build a tools that can make them more effective. If we are talking about the end users, to be honest, it's very hard to 10 times, maybe 100 times. We started from the 100 users that we have, and now it's thousands. So, and talking from the perspective of how our partners used to use such systems, I suppose, to be honest, I'm not sure that someone of our partners has system which have such amount of users. So we have 1 million army. For sure, the amount of the users of the Delta system not so big, because not roles need to be there, but it's huge enough. Yeah, we focused during our conversation. We focused on the UAVs because it's one of the most interesting stuff that we had. But to be honest, we started in the 2016. For sure, we start from the land component. But one of the interesting examples of the usage of the system and why this people process technologies framework is very significant and very important. It's how not to just build the system, but build the capability when the branch of the armed forces can use all of these features and all of these tools. One of our first and main users of the system were Ukrainian Navy. And in the 2017, we already had the first version of the system. And in the 2018, we firstly tried to use the system in the exercise. It's called Seabreeze. It's one of the biggest naval exercises co-organized by the United States and Ukraine with a lot of nations. And in 2018 and 2019, in 2018, it was just a test. In the 2019 and 2020 and 2021, Delta was the main system for all of the nation for the execution of these exercises.
Oh, wow.
It was the exercises where our Navy trained to use the technology with the procedures that we mentioned. And which results it provide? It provide the results when in the 2022, the Ukrainian Navy destroyed the Moscow warship.
Really?
But it's the result of the changed procedures inside the bridge with the people who train it, with the effective tools that they already have and integrated in their working process. It's just one of the examples.
Wow, we should have started with that. Wow. We were talking spreadsheets, etc. We destroyed. You guys helped destroy Moscow. Okay.
To be honest, not we. It's the Ukrainian Navy. So.
Sure. But this is, this is how the militaries develop. I have a very weird question, but mine I will leave for the very end. I can tell that Mark has something else to ask.
Yeah, I do. I had to ask, what's the future of it? Are we building the military awareness SaaS cloud platform for
sales?
For sale? It's like how do you guys? What do you guys think about the future beside the of course the development for Ukrainian use?
To be honest, I am military and spent last 8 and 9 years of my life for the building this system, and last 3 years our team spent to solve the issues of our soldiers on the battlefield. To be honest, it's not our ambition thinking about this. So our main ambition it's about helping our army to solve this issue. Because to be honest, even from the development team, it's two different focuses. When you're thinking about the products that should solve the issues of your end users inside your company is the Ministry of Defense sector, and so on and so on.
Your company, the Armed Forces of Ukraine.
Yeah. And when you're trying to think to solve the issues of your client, so it's different way of thinking. So it's not what we currently focus on. But
you're not an outsource company. You're a product company, so to speak, in IT terms.
Yeah, but if you are talking about the future, you mentioned about the net-centric warfare. Another concept, not another one, but the concept that's currently very progressive, it's the multi-domain operations. And it's the experience that we already have here in Ukraine. It's the lessons that we learned that there are no place for the different system divided for the domains, where you have the separate maritime picture, where you have the separate air picture, where you have the separate land picture. No one of these operations that we have, they also about the joint operations. When you have to understand the information from the different domains to execute your operation. And you need to build a tool to provide a capability to gather all this data from the different domains. It provides the tool set for the end users to achieve the goal. So it's what we're trying to do. And our next step, it's not only to build the operational tools, but also one of these elements of this concept of the multi-domain operations. It's about data-driven decision-making. So it's not only collecting the data, it's use this data to help the operator to make a decision effectively. Even with the usage of the AI, even with some another automation, it doesn't matter.
Wanted to ask about that. Do you implement some very innovative, top-notch technology from the current times just to improve the decision making?
One of the examples, the usage, I already mentioned about the cloud computing. It's one of the backbones of our architecture, but one of the fancy technology is the artificial intelligence. Always when we are talking to someone about the artificial intelligence, so on the battlefields, all our partners imagine the Terminator who...
Yes, of course, the crazy computer robots that appear to destroy humanity, obviously.
Yeah, or instead just ChatGPT typing reports instead of soldiers or something like that. Maybe that would be much more useful.
To be honest, yes. So what we're trying to do now with the usage of the artificial intelligence, it's to remove the routine work from the activities of the Ukrainian warfighters. And it could be really very different routine work. So one of the examples that after the flight, UAV operator should once again watch all the video and find the information that should be placed on the map. It could be 40 minutes, it could be 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on the type of the drone. We can gather a lot of the video information and build the AI which will highlight on the video, okay, you should watch this minute, and this minute, and highlight the significant information in this video stream. And just economize the time for the warfighter. And it's only one of the examples of the usage of the AI. Our main agenda for the usage of the AI is just to simplify and remove as much as we can from the routine work that warfighter have on the battle.
This is one of the prime examples where, again, we're going to say about me and Mark. On this channel, we love referring to the main criticism that has to do with financing Ukrainian military and financing Ukraine in this war, is that, well, how dare you take away money from Philadelphia drug addicts and channel it into Ukraine? Yes, and channel it into Ukraine, on this war that is misunderstood by many. Well, this is one of the cases. Well, if you support Ukraine, if you talk to your representatives, new ones apparently, America, you're pretty good at what you do, but if you keep supporting this war effort, more cool stuff like this appears in the world, and then we all get to live in someday, hopefully, a good peaceful life with no people invading your country and behaving like assholes. But what I'm most interested in, all the amazing technology aside, but I was very interested because I wanted to start this video a bit differently, but I changed my mind. Because for a lot of Americans, if you say Delta, the thing you associate with is a shitty airline. And I was thinking, I was like, guys, this is not the Delta Airlines representative. Don't write your angry comments in this video. But what does I know, maybe it's a secret, I don't know, but why did you call it Delta? What does it mean for Ukrainian military?
Okay.
I know.
The questions are getting harder as we go.
I know. It's not getting easier, no.
once again, I will get back to the history of our unit and of our project. These volunteers that they started to build the sensors on the front line, the leadership of the armed forces of Ukraine asked them to become the regular military unit of the armed forces of Ukraine. And one of the additional tasks that this unit got is build the system which will gather all this information. And we didn't start from the building just a Delta. We tried to talk to the developers of the other systems that were in that time in Ukraine, because there were a lot of the volunteers initiatives, and it was the starting point for this searching for the interoperability standards, because when you have 10 different systems, but you have 2 battalions which standing nearby each other, but these systems don't talk to each other, it became complicated to execute the task as a brigade or execute some tasks for these battalions. And one of the tasks was to find the solution to integrate the systems with each other. So once we started to solve this solution, we got to the idea that we need to build a system which will be this aggregator. But to make this long story short, the Delta Delta name has some roots from the some Scandinavian myths about the symbol that means that it should integrate different elements for the like different elements together.
Yeah, but makes sense, right?
No, the reason I'm asking, because yet again, our dear viewers from abroad, would you like to be friends with a country whose awesome, super cool AI integrated situational awareness system is called Delta, or would you like to be friends with the people who call their remote mine-laying system agriculture, земледелие? I'm not joking. Like, they have the stupidest fucking names for everything. So I think, guys, this is like, we actually have like Delta. Come on, like, you should be like totally friends with us 24/7 all the time. I mean, literally, like, this is the level of discussion we're at right now, and like on the internet, and this is why it's important. And I'm going to include this and not remove this, because come on, agriculture for remote mining system. I mean, and it's not like the worst name they have for stuff. I think they're one of their in electric warfare systems is called like житель, which is like just a
citizen, but in a bad way.
Yeah, but like in a horrible way. So like, come on. You know, just we're the cool guys. Okay, this is the cool guys. Like, be friends with these guys.
Yeah. It literally, like, garage, state-sponsored garage incubator for great cloud networking, operational awareness stuff. Yeah, that's our spirit. Not like, you know, this giant authoritarian machine which gives horrible names which resent to, I don't know, some spiritual
yeah, I mean, Tunguska, Shilka, like, it sounds like crap. Like, yeah. You know, don't do this. Like, be friends with us.
Like, stylish marks, like 5 out of 5, technological 5 out of 5. Yeah, yes. Come on, guys. That's us.
Like, this is just so much better. I was just wondering all the time, like, because, you know, it's like, again, it goes to show how much Ukrainian military has transformed, because we all know on this channel, and again, we're not hiding from our history and our legacy, and Artem here can prove it to you, I guess, if you guys would like to. But we came a long way from Tunguska and Shilka and земледелие. This has been a big milestone for Ukrainian military, and even imagining something like this being available to Ukrainian military, okay, this system has been in development for a long time now, like almost 10 years, right? Like 8, right? But then in 2014 and 2008, when American military was striking people all over the world with this super amazing military technology, like, this was unconceivable to us. And now we have, you know, young people such as Artem sitting there somewhere actually doing some Avengers level technology in Ukrainian military, which is mind blowing to me. I don't know how about you guys.
Yeah,
but
and also imagine again. Let's come back to the funding of this stuff. When you help Ukraine, when you aid Ukrainian military effort, you also aid things like Delta and other innovations like we do, and those innovations are going forward as the war goes on, unfortunately, but the technological advancement will be very useful for those who aid Ukraine in a future war. So don't be skeptical about that. And Artem will confirm that it is extremely hard to actually do such stuff and create such projects, especially without like real life experience in practice, such as Ukraine had.
Don't want to complain, but it's not the easiest stuff to build such tools. And getting back to the namings, so you mentioned Avengers, so it's the name of the one of the models that we have in our system responsible for the running and learning the AI platform. And the history of the building of this model were started from the, I suppose you've seen these terrible videos from the start of the full-scale Russian invasion, when a lot of the Russian vehicles went through our main roads, and it was the starting point for this project. The team started to use the video stream from the stationary cameras near the road to build the first AI model to detect the Russian vehicles. And to provide the feedback to the system to understand faster how they move between the roads. And it was like the starting point for this project. Of course, after that, we understood that, okay, we need to build the huge platform to run a lot of the different AI models, not only for the vehicles that we've seen in the camera roads, but also for the UAVs and for the other stuff. But it's a little part of the history and the namings that we have.
So virtually that's what Mark said, and that's what you said. It's not easy to make stuff like this. So yet again, by supporting Ukraine and supporting Ukrainian military, you make dark magic shit actually happen, which is amazing to me. And it's like watching something beautiful come out of nothing. I mean, again, as a Ukrainian, I've lived in this country my entire life. I've seen it blossom into this, and for the craziest time, I could not imagine something like this actually, like having an interview with a guy who actually says like, yeah, well, we just, those videos, you've seen them, like we do the thing that's like counted the speed and how it moves between the roads, and now we have this. I'm like, okay, this is not, this kind of, whenever we have a guest on our podcast, Mark, it gives me a little bit of hope, it's not, we should invite more people, like usually our videos end like very depressingly.
Yeah, no, let's send it on the positive note then. Thank you very much, Artem, and I wish you like all the things that you would wish for this project. That's probably one thing which will make a lot of impact and will help to save a lot of lives and will help to destroy a lot of enemy lives. So yeah, let's support Ukraine and make Russians unhappy and make the Delta developers very happy.
Yes.
More happy than Artem right now. So
yeah, we're going to leave a lot of some information about Delta and some useful links for you guys in this description below, so please don't hesitate to go there. And also please be so nice, subscribe to this channel so we get more viewers, so more nice people like Artem will come here and tell you more about their super fancy, super cool military related stuff, because we know you guys are geeks. We know you guys are tired of talking about politics. We know that you like to listen to people telling you, about technological advances in the military. We can't give you that. We're not experts, but we know people, so we can invite more people for you to see. Thank you very much, Artem, for spending the time with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.